Okay, everybody, here we are together again at last. And you know what? I haven't said this in a while, but regardless of what's going on, we are surrounded by little puffs of freaky loveliness. They're a little freaky lately, but they're still there. Remember, you don't hold on to them. You can touch them, but just release them. All right, look, with that out of the way, let's talk about these markets here. Stocks got hit again across the board. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 600 points. The real action here again is in the debt market. You know that. 10-year yield failed to respond to what it's not just Greg Mannarino saying this. I mean, this is all the mainstream channels, all the off mainstream channels, the other YouTube blogs. They're all calling this unprecedented what the Fed is doing. They're buying everything. As a matter of fact, what I want you to understand right here and right now, if you don't already, because I've covered it, is the Fed is buying the world. They're buying the entire world. It started with the new America. Let's talk a little bit about the new America. So Steve Mnuchin is asking the American people for a completely blank check. But the worst part of it is he wants to hold back the names of the corporations that are being nationalized for at least 6 months. Now, I don't understand that. Look, obviously there's so much going on here under the table we don't know about. What we do know is the Federal Reserve is honestly and sincerely, in the literal sense, buying the world, funneling cash to central banks around the world, allowing them to buy assets with dollars. It's like a spider web now surrounding the entire world, but it's coming from the Federal Reserve, from the new America. This is not the United States of America anymore. I find it very disturbing. I understand what's going on here. It's been going on for a long time. The government of the United States and corporate America merging, getting closer. Now they're fully becoming one as these industries are being nationalized. All right, I got all that. America the beautiful is America the dead and buried. We have a new system. The hub here is sweeping the globe, just like I said. But I personally find it really disturbing to have Steve Mnuchin say, I want a blank check and I'm going to withhold the names of these companies from the American people for at least 6 months. How do you feel about that? Is that, again, this is fascism. We see it. This is national socialization. That's what we have here. But this is yet to actually be defined, what we're having here. Obviously, it's fascist. Clear as can be. We understand that. I don't think anyone can argue it. But I find that very, very disturbing. And we haven't seen anything yet. This is the opening salvo. So the Federal Reserve is dollarizing the world. Again, they're dollarizing the world. They're literally giving cash away to central banks around the world. Buy assets with this cash. Buy assets with this cash. And this is all, again, and I'm going to keep covering this to the point of nauseum, while the dollar is so strong here, they're dollarizing the world. And at one point, once they own it all, this is a takeover on an unprecedented scale. It's unprecedented. In fact, it goes beyond that. I'll talk more about in a second. They're going to flip the switch here. Once they burn the dollar out, and that's really what they're doing, they're burning it out, we're going to get a new system right along with the new America, which is going to take over the world. One world government, one world financial system, period, the end. This is it. This is what they've been working for since the discovery, such a joke, of the new world. Obviously, all of this was known thousands of years before that. But anyway, we're not even going to go into that whole thing because I could probably talk for days. So what I want you all to be ready for And I don't want this to be a surprise. So don't say that you haven't heard it before. The Federal Reserve is going to be nationalizing the entire mortgage industry, the entire mortgage bond market, the entire mortgage debt market is going to be nationalized. This is so they can own actually the entire spectrum of real estate. Again, they want to own the world. They're buying everything right now, and nobody wants to do anything about it. No member of Congress wants to do a thing about it. They're playing right into it, including the President of the United States. Okay, more debt. Negative rates are coming. You've been forewarned. You will pay the banks. You will pay the banks. You have no choice to keep your cash in them. The president's been screaming from rooftops about this for well over a year. And I just have to bring this up. During his rallies, he's obviously wants to be reelected. Negative rates, you get the crowd roaring, yay! We've seen the same thing with other infamous world leaders too. The crowd just follows along like the sheep that they are, and they do it publicly. They make fun of you. You see, President Trump is making fun of those people by saying negative rates, then he gets the big cheer. Because in his head, he realizes, you stupid imbeciles, you're cheering this on when you know you're going to pay the banks. They're going to be siphoning cash right out of your account. Yeah, you keep on cheering. Sounds great. Let's see how you like it. So anyway, I don't want you to be surprised. The Fed will be buying the entire mortgage industry, mortgage bond, mortgage debt, along with all of these other industries, multinational corporations. Steve Mnuchin, going back to Steve Mnuchin again, is talking about an at least $4 trillion loan program for small businesses that are going to need it in this booming economy, which is booming a month ago. Now we're going into a Great Depression. Now, there is some Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs are all saying, well, the same thing Greg Mannarino has been explaining for years. A Great Depression scenario is approaching here. Fed President Bullard, I'm going to remind you again, said this was all planned, orchestrated to bring the U.S. economy to its knees. This is really what he's saying here. And that is what's going on right now. But this is all for your own good. You know that there's an invisible enemy out here. And you can't see it. So you have to take everyone's word for it that they're locking down city after city systematically, state after state systematically, nation after nation systematically. They want to see what they can get away with here in this new world order, this new America, this some type of national socialist, fascist, whatever it is, thing that has yet to be defined, that is developed. It is now the new America. And just in case you're wondering, the new America welcomes you with open arms as long as you comply. You understand? We're getting a new constitution as well. With the new America comes a new set of rules, a new set of guidelines, a new economic system, a new monetary system. Central banks are the power source here on the planet Earth. If there was ever a force to be reckoned with right now, and they are unstoppable. They've gotten everything that they have geared up for centuries. It's the central banks who are now banding together as the Fed is dollarizing the world, pumping trillions of dollars to these banks to buy assets. They're owning the world, which means since you live on it, they own you. I want you to understand that they will dictate your lives to you. The mainstream media is going to tell you what to think, what to wear, where to look, who to hate. You understand? They're going to distract you. No, the stock market didn't just lose 37% of its value because we were in a bubble. Oh no, it's the coronavirus. It wasn't the deliberately inflated bubble. Gung-ho, buy the market. Larry Kudlow is telling people to buy the market now, just like he was parroting President Trump at the market top. Buy stocks. You lost 37% of your portfolio. Larry wants you to buy more stocks here. Okay. I want you to keep that in mind as well as we move forward. So in summary here, let's just put this together. Stocks finished lower across the board. Bond market is cratering. The 10-year yield well below 1%. That's our pivot point here. Gold, silver, crude oil, cryptocurrencies all caught a nice bid here. And I explained to you how this was going to turn around as we continue to melt down. Now, these Wall Street banks here, the same ones that are calling for a Great Depression era scenario to unfold. It's not just Greg Mannarino who's been saying it for years. I think they're a little late to the party. They are saying that the bottom is not in with regard to this market. But you listen to Larry Kudlow and start buying stocks. Yeah, the man, his brain is fried from his multiple decade use of cocaine. He's admitted to this. All right, so look, I'm going to let you all go here. Look, I understand that drug use is a disease. I'm just laughing at when you have a guy like that advising people to do something totally wrong. He said the same thing at the top of the market. Now he's telling people the same thing now. So which Larry Kudlow was right? The one that just caused you to lose 37% of your portfolio, or the Larry Kudlow from today? You let me know. Personally, I think I have to agree with the Wall Street banks here that the bottom is not in. We have a lot further to go. We are going to be facing again worse than the Great Depression level of unemployment. Small businesses are being systematically decimated, but you're going to be offered a loan. Ask Steve Mnuchin. He wants to own you as well. But you see, a lot of people are going to have to take him up on that. That's also completely by design. I think you understand that too. All by design, as the mega corporations are nationalized. You understand? You see how that works? You see, they get nationalized, you get a loan. Interesting. The merger between a government and corporations, the definition of is fascism. And they are going to extort you like you have no idea. We, the American people, or those members of the new America, we've yet to be defined as well. We're definitely not the same people that we were, a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. No. That's not what we have anymore by a long shot. And we're going to find out who and what we are very, very soon. I think it's pretty safe to say that we are all slaves being set up for the biggest slaughter ever seen in the history of the world here. Let's take Fed President James Bullard at his word. This was planned. This is planned. They're sending us into a second Great Depression by design to control you, to minimize the population, to make it easier for them to push their will on you. You understand? This is the new America, and I can promise you, she welcomes all of you. The question is, do you welcome her? I'm out of here. See you in the morning. Love you a lot.